Tell me if I'm going too fast. Haha. Okay, bring this guy in. We're going to keep him kind of vertical along the Y here like he is. Bring that down. Bring that in a smidge, like so. And that'll be kind of our weird little, I don't know, tube that will feed our antifreeze or coolant, if you will. I don't think they might actually use antifreeze in gun turrets, but hey, you never know, depending on what cyberpunk world you're living in. Okay, and let's go ahead and grab I'm going to grab a cube. Bring this guy up. And, you know, you can really use a lot of these different shapes to your advantage to anything you want to do. You know, some might want to bring in a sphere, but I'm just trying to kind of use logic and some of this housing and where these tubes and wires and whatnot are going to be living. So let's just kind of bring this guy in like so. I'm going to want him to be pretty thin, like that. Coolio. I think one thing I'm going to do here with our cylinder is let me go to my display here real quick so I can see my lines. Let's create a couple height segments on this. I'll show you why. I'm going to hit C, make it editable. Go to our loop. I'm going to hit UL. Once again, UL. There we go. And select that guy and that guy. And what we can do is basically just kind of extrude inwards with this. And just kind of add a little bit of detail in here. Bevel. Do something like that. Kind of dig that. Cool. All right, now let's go to our cube. And pretty generic looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit C on our keyboard. And let's go ahead and go to edge mode actually. And I'm going to hit Control A so we can select all of our edges. We're just going to simply bevel this guy like so. Let's do this. Grab our live selection. Let's grab just both these sides. Make sure that this guy's turned on. We don't want to get too wacky unless we're on our side view. Let's go ahead and extrude inward and extrude inside like so. Cool, we have a little bit of a connector there. Okay, now for the fun part. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a spline from here to here, and that's just going to give us some nice little detail, kind of a cable or like a line, if you will, that will be feeding some of our coolant. I don't know why I'm stuck on the whole coolant thing, but for me, it just works. It just works. So let's go ahead and go to our perspective, get out of our perspective and see our front and side and whatnot. So I'm going to actually just go to my splines here, and I'm just going to use my linear for right now. So I'm going to start here on the side and just kind of bring it out, kind of work its way up, create a couple points, and as you can see, we're going to want to probably create a couple like so. So not the cleanest thing, but we're gonna fix that here. So let's grab our spline. We're going to want to change the axis on this guy too. So let's go to our mesh, axis center, open up this guy here. Let's hit execute, and we should center that guy out. So there we go. Okay, cool. All right, let's bring that in. Let's grab our little points here. I'm going to start with my rectangle selection first. Maybe grab all these guys, bring them down. Just going to kind of line it up a little bit. And we're definitely not going to be staying in linear mode on this thing. This is just to kind of help set where we're at. And I don't want this to be perfectly uniform either. I want it to make it seem like it's pretty organic looking. So let's go ahead and change this. I think we'll probably try a B-spline here. Something like that. Also, I don't want to make sure that I have too many points because we might be getting some silly distortions in there. So as you can see, I'm just grabbing along the Y and Z here. Kind of moving it up a little bit. Something like that. Bring it down a smidge. Okay, now what I want to do is grab a sweep NURB. So let's go up to here. Let's get a sweep NURB. And let's go back to our splines, grab a circle. I'm going to drop this down to 1. Because I think we're kind of working with some small settings here. So let's drop that into our sweep along with our spline. And yeah, way too thick. So we could probably afford to go maybe 0.2 on that, possibly 0.3. Whoa, might be a little too much, but I don't know, that might work. We want to make sure there's no intersecting going on here. Cool, that looks pretty good. So we'll call this coolant line. And you guessed it, symmetry object. Cool, drop that guy in there. So there we have it. Got that dude in there. All right, and we'll call this, once again, coolant line. Cool. All right, yeah, we're looking pretty good here. So why don't we go ahead and, yeah, that's good. Okay, go to display. I'm just going to get out of my line mode here. Just kind of see what we're looking at. All right, cool. We're definitely moving forward. So in the next lesson, we're just going to keep on going, just kind of, add and tweak and scale and move and push and pull and do what we got to do. So yeah, let's stay the course, and we'll see